Yeah.
All right, so welcome to the very first podcast, officially unnamed. We'll have to come up with a name, but we're just two guys here hanging out, talking games, talking tech. Just want to give you our different opinions on what's going on with the world and how we see it.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself, Alex. What's your background in gaming?
So my name's Alex. I've been gaming since original Super Nintendo. Although I do have memories of being on the original NES, but officially I think I joined the gaming scene with Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. So I've been gaming for quite a while. Don't really get to game that much, but now that I have two little boys, I pretty much get to play a lot of Nintendo Switch because there are no kid-appropriate games on the other consoles, other than like the Lego Batman and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I've been gaming for a while and have many fond memories, and I remember video games, I think, in the highlight of the video game industry, because now, and we can talk about it later, but I have such a great memory of being able to go to the store, buy a game, put it in your console, and play it. Like that. Like in that moment, and not wait for like what seems like a week now just to be able to start your game. So,
yeah.
What about you? How long have you been gaming? And who got you into gaming, by the way?
Oh, okay. So my name's Danny. I've been gaming since, I don't know, before I could do anything. Because my mom, remember Alex, would play the games for me when I was little, 4 or 5. And she'll give me a controller and make me pretend I'm playing. So I don't know when I officially started playing myself, but I was a gamer forever. What got me started really into video games had to be my mom, but my Uncle Juan gave me my first Xbox. And with my first Xbox at the age of 5 or 6, I played Halo, and ever since then I am
Who made that horrible mistake of getting you Halo at the age of 5 or 6?
My Uncle Juan, he gave it to me. Well, no one ever beat the game far enough to know there are zombies towards the end of it. So that traumatized me and my cousins growing up. My cousin Adam and Jacob.
Yeah, no, and for everybody just tuning in or just watching or listening, we've been playing together pretty much our entire childhood.
Yeah.
Most of our childhood was all just playing together. Keep in mind that we've been playing games since before Xbox Live was a thing, before Xbox Game Pass was a thing.
What do we have? Those link
Yeah.
What are they called again?
The what?
When you link up two Xboxes.
Oh my god! Do you remember having those Xbox LAN parties that we'd hook up our?
Only at your house. Only at your house.
We can get 8 players. We get all the neighborhood kids coming over.
That was pretty fun.
That was like the first time that you went 2 screens and 2 Xboxes. It was like mind blowing. It was like, holy moly. That was some fun stuff. I actually remember doing the same setup at New Year's Eve parties that we would have at Jesse's house. I don't know if you ever got to go to those.
And one time, yeah, I did.
But yeah, we'd set up the 8 players. It was just revolutionary for like
8 players.
For 8 players was just like something that you never would have imagined, because we grew up you could only play 2 players when you were next to each other.
Yeah.
And then what was it? The N64 was really the first one that came out with that 4-player mode.
Yeah, you can play Donkey Kong. Remember that game with you can battle each other and stuff.
Because even PlayStation 2 was still only 2 players for a long time. Like Sony didn't bring in the 4-player mode until at least the PS3 then, right? 2007?
Yeah, even then, a lot of games back then were more campaign story driven. So split screen 2 players was kind of standard with those games.
Yeah, it's just mind blowing that Sony took all the way to 2006, 2007 to introduce 4 players when back then it was like the original Xbox was 4 players. N64 from like 98 was already 4 players.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 4 players.
Remember Double Dash? Double Dash was 4 players, right?
Yeah, but Double Dash was GameCube.
Yeah, but that's the one I remember. That was my childhood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, we
I think there's
I'm fortunate enough that I still kept all my games.
Yeah. Well, I have a lot in my shed, but I should probably give them to you to kind of archive them for us. Because they're weathering the storms.
Yeah, you probably. I so just fun fact, I actually got this whole weekend on TikTok. I've been watching people playing Guitar Hero on TikTok, like on expert mode,
Oh wow,
just
yeah.
going like crazy. I was like, you know what? I used to be pretty good at Guitar Hero. It was time to get the band back together because it's my wife and my 2 kids and me. And so I took the Rock Band kit and I got it all out. We set it
Yeah.
all up, and everybody's like, "What do you do with this?" And I was like, "How do you guys not know how to play Rock Band? What was your childhood?" But we
Yeah.
tried to do it, and yeah, none of the kids could do it.
The
My wife,
drumming and the singing and all that.
yeah, like all of that, like they couldn't do it.
Who was
But
the singer? Really quick.
my wife,
She was the singer. No.
she was a singer. I mean, we didn't get very far. We barely even got to the point where she was singing.
Oh wow. Did you guys keep failing beforehand?
Well, because my 5-year-old was on the drums. He couldn't even reach the pedal.
That the drums are hard in Rock Band. I remember that.
Yeah, but no. Anyways, I was gonna tell you, right? So I got when did Guitar Hero World Tour come out?
Isn't that the last one they made?
Yeah, it was the very very last one. Looked like it came out in 2008.
Yeah, but they were churning out Guitar Heroes yearly at that point, weren't they?
It's because Guitar Hero. So actually, we're gonna talk about the whole Activision thing in a bit, but Harmonix really created Guitar Hero,
Yeah.
and then Activision buys the rights to Guitar Hero, but Harmonix went and created Rock Band.
Oh, I
They
didn't know that.
They had to recreate like
What they
new
created.
IP
Yeah.
because their Guitar Hero trademark went over, or at least the intellectual property went over to Activision. And once Activision got a hold of it, you know what Activision does with those Call of Duties and everything else, right? It just becomes a cash cow.
Yeah, they churn them out as fast as they can.
Yeah. So, but the whole point I'm telling you this is from 2008, specifically 2008 for Guitar Hero World Tour, my guitar still kind of works. The whammy bar won't work anymore.
Oh, really? So you can't
Yeah.
do that cool effect?
Like no, I mean the whammy bar works, but the spring isn't there's no tension in it.
Yeah.
So it just falls. So I'm like I have to like move the whammy bar myself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And then the strum part is like sometimes it registers, not all the time, but
So it's not as crispy as it was.
yeah, it's definitely not as crispy, but it was definitely interesting to pull it out again out of the closet after what 14 years.
I'm surprised he still had those controllers. I
Yeah.
don't know what you call them.
My father-in-law found my father-in-law for the Rock Band drum set. He found he found the whole drum set in the dumpster.
Yeah.
He gave that thing to me like in 2013. We now just plugged it in to see if it worked. It didn't work.
Oh, well, it's in a dumpster for a reason, I think.
Yeah, but that was 9 years ago that I've been hanging out to trash.
Holy moly. So you threw it away finally?
No, we're gonna take it apart and see if we can fix it.
Oh, there you go. Well, engineers.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, all right. So we wanted so part of doing this podcast here is we want to obviously talk games. We want to talk stuff that we've played a lot of games together over the years. We've had a lot of good fun memories, so we want to relive a little bit of that. But most importantly, I think we want to talk about what's going on right now, right? We want to give you all our 2 cents and kind of talk about the latest news, what's happening, give you our perspectives, and really just have an opportunity for us here to kind of just discuss, but then you as a community to kind of just be a part of what we're doing and through social media or through other avenues kind of interact with us and really we'd love to hear like your thoughts, your opinions, and things of that nature. So obviously we're going to be giving you ours, but then after the show, feel free to follow us on social media. We'll be dropping links and stuff like that after or in the description of the show here, and you'll be able to definitely follow along, and hopefully we can build I'm hoping to do these live at some point so that people can actually tune in and we can see live
Little
chat
on the side. That'd be so cool. Yeah.
But for now, we're gonna be basically blowing this up wherever we can. So we prepared 10 topics for you today. Hopefully, we read through them all. I know I only got to like 5 or 6. But I actually so the reason we wanted to do this is because at least there's a lot of material, right? There's the news in the video game industry are constantly changing. It's something that people are always curious about, and it's something that obviously it's something that we've been doing for so long, such a big part of our lives, that it just gives an opportunity to share and reflect and see where the industry is going, where it has been, and where we predict it's going to go. So, any thoughts there, Danny, before we jump into the first article?
I'm excited to see your opinions on some of these topics, because when I read through them, I'm like, oh, I really wonder what Alex, because I feel like we're similar in our time of playing video games, our generation, I guess, but you're kind of a little bit more older. I don't know how to describe it, but
I'm
you're
only 6 years older than you.
You are 6 years older than me, but for some reason I feel like there's a little video game generational gap right there. I don't know how to explain that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm curious to see your opinions, because now that life has given you a second chance, I want to see what new perspectives you're going to be throwing back at the video game industry.
Yeah. Well, now I can voice it before I die. All right, let's go.
And then for full disclosure, right, my opinions are also going to become from the fact that I am a software engineer, and I do see all this stuff from the other side of the world, right, where it's not just as a gamer, but as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as a developer. I think I'm going to be able to offer a slightly different experience where you're probably going to be more on the...
I am strictly gamer and consumer. Yes. I am just experiencing this and telling you how I feel about it.
Yep. All right, so the first article that we're going to be reviewing here is GTA 6 confirmed.
That's going to be
holy moly, I read that and I was like, wow.
Okay, GTA 6, dude. Do you know how big GTA 5 is? How they resold that thing for, what is it, almost 10 years?
Yeah, I think I bought it. What do I don't even have it for Xbox One.
It's 360.
I'm looking over here because I have all my game consoles. What do I have it for?
It's got to be the Xbox 360 where it came out on.
Did it come out on? When did it come out?
2000. What was it? I was in high school. 2012, 13.
GTA 5, first one. Let's see. Oh boy, I can't even go to the website without putting my age verification. Let's see where's the Wikipedia here.
Make some coffee.
2013. So yeah,
it's been a cool
minute.
I remember that. Dude, that game, when it came out, had its problems, but now, oh my gosh, it's amazing what they did with GTA Online.
You know, I haven't had a chance to play GTA Online.
Yeah.
I just can't get myself into playing for like. Once I spend the $60, I've always had a difficult time justifying spending more money on the game.
Yeah.
And so my perspective on GTA 5 and what I've seen just from like the sheer size of these installs, because I do have GTA 5 for the computer, because like 2 or 3 summers ago, Stream gave it away for free.
Wow.
I think that was like 120 gigabyte download.
They're huge. Nothing compared to Call of Duty though.
But the game used to fit on a 25 gigabyte. No, not even a 25 gigabyte. What is it? 16 gigabyte Xbox 360 disc.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I don't know how they did it with the memory capacity that they need, but another game really quickly that has similar giant needs of memory is Call of Duty Warzone. And I don't know. It's gotta be over 100 something. Let's look it up real quick. But Call of Duty Warzone, I was trying to download.
You might not want to do that because your screen goes black.
Right now it did?
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Your browser.
I need a dual screen.
Or second. Yeah. I'll look it up.
Look it up if you can. The download of video games are getting ginormous, man. And I think it's because they keep compacting more information onto the original as they update them, you know?
Yeah. So now I'm curious, right? So when movie theaters receive a movie,
yeah,
I haven't confirmed, but I hear that like the 4K movies, the IMAX and all that stuff, they're so massive that they just like get a hard drive. It's like here's your 2-hour long movie because it's like 2 terabytes long or big, right? So wow. I'm very curious, what's the game plan here with GTA 6, given that Xbox Series S, most popular, it only has a 512 gigabyte hard drive, right? And so like this thing, I predict is gonna be minimum like 250 gigs.
Starting. Yeah.
No, just on launch day.
Yeah. That's the patch.
Yeah.
Play the game.
And so that's just to get your foot in the door.
Yeah. Holy
So
moly, dude.
I'm so curious, like what is going on? Like what are they thinking and what is their plan? Because I mean, just 250. Most houses have a 1 terabyte limit to like their
For
monthly
download?
downloads. Yeah,
Really? I did not
yeah.
know
Like
that.
if you're like on Cox, just some internet companies throughout the United States, you can download up to 1 terabyte worth of stuff.
Huh.
And I remember making the comment when I downloaded GTA 5. I was like, there goes 1/10 of my monthly allowance just downloading the freaking
Holy
game.
moly. I did not know that we had a limit on downloading stuff.
So Time Warner doesn't. AT&T does. AT&T has a 1 point something gigabyte limit or terabyte limit.
Yeah.
And if this game, I predict, I'm willing to predict that this is going to be at least a 200 gigabyte game, minimum.
Starting.
Right.
I mean, I think it'll be the graphics that'll definitely, up the download. But the way GTA 5 worked, it was a good story. But once you finish the story, there's no reason to really replay it. I mean, yeah, you could mess around with the cops and all that, but the way GTA 5 really shined was the online. That's what's keeping it alive to this day.
Well, that's really interesting then, because from my perspective, and maybe because I didn't really care for the online capabilities, but GTA 3, Vice City, what did I play? 3, Vice City, San Andreas,
Yeah.
and 4, and even 5 for that matter. I've never played online, and I never played the story. I never did any of the missions.
Only GTA 4 had an online, but it was kind of getting to where they wanted it to be, but it was nowhere near what GTA 5 offered.
No, but I'm saying I still didn't even do the missions.
Oh, you didn't even beat the
I literally, on all the PlayStation 2 ones, all I did was straight cheat codes and just like blow the heck out of people.
Oh, I remember those cheat codes on PlayStation at your house.
Yeah, that's all I would do is like get infinite ammo, get the tank, and then I'd find places to like just do like stunts. And that's like, I think I would spend hours just doing that.
How old were you? You had to be in high school, right?
I was in high school. For San Andreas, I remember distinctively like San Andreas, I was in high school. I think when GTA 4 for the 360 came out, I was definitely in college. But GTA 4 sucked because you couldn't do cheat codes, because if you did cheat codes, you were banned from Xbox Live.
I remember that. Something like that. I was a little younger. I didn't really care.
Yeah, and GTA 5, I tried to do the story mode because, I don't think they had done the GTA Online yet.
It was broken when it first came out.
Yeah, so I tried to do the missions, but I probably did like maybe an hour or two of missions.
Yeah.
And then I never again. Once I figured out how to get into the LAX, to the airport,
and steal the airplane.
Near the airplane. That was game over. That's all I wanted to do.
That's the fun part. But the cool part about GTA Online is they keep adding new vehicles. So now you have a hover airplane that you can hover with other players doing their stuff, and you can just shoot them all down with this like hovercraft type thing. It's really interesting what they're doing with the online, but it's its own community, dude. I think recently streamers are playing a lot of GTA Online because there's a role play mode to it. Have you heard of that?
No, what is that?
So it's like me and you will play GTA, we'll jump in, and then they'll tell us, well, you have to get a job in the game. And they coded or modded the game, so you have to work while other players are all doing this at the same time. So you have some players being policemen, some players doing
like Sim City almost.
Yeah, it's its own city.
Well, it's just The Sims.
It's like The Sims, but you are in control of your own character, and you have to like make money. Like there's this fishing thing. I saw a streamer fishing. She was fishing, and then a game warden would come and check your inventory. And if you have a shark or something that you cannot have because it's illegal, they'll arrest you. They'll get the police, and another player will come as a police. That's what's happening right now in GTA Online.
How much is GTA Online? I want to play that.
It's free, and I think the mod is free too on Steam.
Oh man, if I had time, I would definitely get back into this. And
I love that.
Now I'm getting excited because again, for another full disclosure, I'm just blowing stuff up the whole time, right? The whole time I'm playing any of the other Grand Theft Autos, but
yeah,
I never did the vigilante missions because you know how you
Oh,
could
those
take
are fun.
you know how you could take the like the fire truck or the police and like try to arrest people. I
Yeah,
never did those.
you you got. I think you'd have a lot of fun with the online because of the other players. But if you can be a policeman and you can
Man,
literally handcuff people
now I
and
feel
put
like
them
a
in your
total
car.
loner because literally all I would do was get all the cool houses, get a crap ton of cars, and just park them in my garage and like relive
Yeah,
out fantasies or something. Kill people.
this is my garage.
This is my. I had all
Like
the
Jay
cool cars
Leno.
in there. Fun fact: my mom one time she was like, she would just in watching me because in the news there was at least specifically like way back then. I think people were a lot more conservative back then, but it was like the dangers of video games and violence, right? And GTA was always the gold standard of like the most violent game because there's strippers and there's like a bunch of stuff in it that you just don't necessarily want to be exposed to. But my mom just in watching me play, thoughts of like running over a cop would come to her head.
Holy moly, your mom sounds scary.
I know, but she's like the bad influence that your game is having on me. But anyways, this NPC navigation, I'm not sure what that is, but it says that it's going to be next gen. It's going to make the traffic more realistic. So I'm very curious to see how artificial intelligence is going to be playing in this next game.
Well, if they really invest in it, it'll be amazing. If you see GTA 5, it's like its own living, breathing city. But you look at a new recent game like Cyberpunk 2077, where they supposed to have like really next gen NPCs. That game sucked. These things did nothing. They were just walking around. There's no, I don't know, life to them.
I'm curious to see, like, again, I don't know what their patent is, but like Microsoft with the Microsoft Flight Simulator,
Yeah.
all the processing is happening at their data centers.
Hmm.
And I wonder what kind of like on like next gen AI stuff they're going to be able to unlock
Well,
when
yeah.
the processing isn't on the console, right? But it's in the cloud.
So you're streaming live stuff from the AIs, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
it's
pretty.
and I would predict that it would alter its behavior based on your input. Because in
Yeah.
real time, it's this big old heavy duty data center is doing all the processing in the back end. So
Yeah.
definitely games have come a long way since GTA 3. and just before we wrap this up, did you ever play GTA 1 or 2? The
I
overhead one?
have overhead looking. Didn't
Yeah,
they
I
have a
never-
Game Boy version too of one
Yeah.
of them?
They try to do that, but all right. Well, anyways, I'm excited. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this. It says 2024, 2025.
2024. I'm pretty sure it's gonna get 2025. They have to. I'm telling you, GTA 5 when it came out had a lot of problems. It was too bad, but hopefully they take their time. Take your time. 2025 is fine. Don't rush it.
What was it? Cyberpunk, the 2027 or 2077 or whatever. That's the one that
Yeah.
just got botched up the whole launch, right? Because they tried to rush it, then they delayed it a year,
Yeah.
and then it came out and it still sucked.
Well, they keep rushing games. I mean, we can't even talk about Halo Infinite. It's an amazing game. I love Halo. Halo Infinite. I play it all the time. But have you played it? The campaign feels so. It's amazing. I love the story, but it's like it feels different. It feels kind of rushed. Everything feels rushed about Halo. It's weird. Even the gameplays, like the game list that came out of that game, they didn't even have core games like Zombies or Team SWAT in the beginning. These are all being added because the players are demanding it. But games are coming out too fast, I think. They need to really make them.
Do you think so? Because I feel the opposite. I feel like games are taking too long.
I think they announced it too early. I think that's what they're
You
doing.
think that's what it is?
It's like Metroid Prime, the new one that was announced way back then. Nintendo decided let's start over because it's not making, it doesn't work. It's not very good. That's what they said. It's not very good. We're gonna start over. But what they do is I think they have an idea and then they say I don't know, E3 when they used to have E3. Metroid Prime, like it's coming out, but I think someone just literally sat down in the toilet and said, "Let's do Metroid Prime." At that point, there's nothing being worked on. You know what I mean?
Dude, I know we don't have this on the topic here, but Nintendo,
Yeah.
biggest pet peeve, man. What is their original IP?
Mario?
No, but the latest Super Mario Galaxy, no, Odyssey. Last Mario, real true Mario, right?
Yeah.
When did that come out?
When Switch
Odyssey.
came out.
That's a launch day title, no?
Yeah, it's the same year the Switch came out. So same as Zelda.
Okay, so I'm trying to get the date for that. What year? What year did we come out?
I
Man,
would
I
do
wish Wikipedia was the first thing that comes up in my search. 2017. So 5 years.
yeah.
Okay.
It's the start of the launch of the Switch, right?
Yeah, but the problem I have is with Nintendo right now is we just picked up Super Mario 3DS World,
I love that game. Yes.
which which is just a Wii U game,
That's what they've been doing. A lot of Wii
which is
U games.
which was just a DS game.
They
But that's what I'm like. That's where the part that I don't understand is like, holy moly! Because if you think about it from an engineering perspective, right?
yeah.
The expensive stuff is the creative. It's the figuring out the story, figuring out the mechanics of it, and then developing the software for it. When you're
Mhm.
just bumping up the graphics, it costs you like 10% of what the original development of a whole new intellectual property costs you. So Nintendo is like churning out remasters of a remaster of a remaster. I haven't seen any original games since the original Wii at this point. Because the Wii U was rehashed versions of the Wii, and the Switch is rehashed versions of the Wii U.
You know, it's
And we
interesting.
keep paying for it.
That's the thing. That's what I was gonna say. They can rehash as much as they want. We'll still pay for it.
But why? Why are we paying for it?
I have no idea. Their latest game that came out that I'm enjoying currently, before I even got on to talk with you, it's the Pokemon Legends Arceus. Have you seen that one?
I've seen it, but it's not a. No, again, now I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite, right? Because I
Yeah.
don't like it because it doesn't feel like original Pokemon.
Well, everyone loves it because it's not a rehashed Pokemon. You know, gyms, Elite Four,
Yeah,
you catch all the Pokemon. This one's really different now. It's actually kind of dark if you read the story text. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but it is a different game, and everyone just hates the graphics. But everything else about
is
the
it
game
cel
is
shaded?
beautiful.
It looks cel shaded to me.
No, it's not cel shaded. It's almost, somebody said it's, if you look at the graphics, it's pixelated and looks 2D, but they're trying to make it 3D. And
Isn't
it's
that
amazing. It looks
that's almost cel
beautiful to
shaded
me.
graphics, no?
Huh?
Isn't that almost cel shaded graphics?
Kinda. It's just it shouldn't look that way. it it looks amazing though. I mean, for me, an open world Pokemon game is what I always wanted. But this game is everyone just hates the graphics, but they love the game. And if they, I don't know, I think it's maybe the Switch holding them back at that point. The
Yeah, the
hardware.
Switch. Yeah, you know what? I definitely think it is because all it's got is this like dinky little like NVIDIA Tegra chip.
Yeah. So they can't really. Somebody's saying there's too much pop in the background. Like if you're walking around in Pokemon Arceus, one of the characters will just pop up, like because they're loading in as you're walking around. It's the game is trying really hard. I think if it was a PC game, it'd be much more beautiful.
Much better.
Yeah,
I feel like Minecraft, the amount of computing resources that Minecraft requires,
dude, I love Minecraft.
but just to load that much data,
Have
it's
you
just,
ever?
you would think it's a freaking little cube.
Yeah.
Just load a million of them.
Have you seen when they what is it called, ray tracing?
With
When
ray
they do ray
tracing?
tracing on Minecraft?
I
is
saw the
beautiful.
demos, but I haven't seen it in person.
I don't know what ray tracing is personally. All I know is that the games that they ray trace look freaking cool, dude.
So ray tracing is just algorithms for light reflections.
Oh, so it looks more like realistic in a sense?
It looks more like if you were like you and me looking at it with our eyes through the
Yeah.
naked eye, and the way light reflects on surfaces.
That's pretty cool. And they added that to Minecraft. Imagine if they did the same mod to Pokemon Legends Arceus. To make it look all realistic and nice.
Yeah, no. Well, that's kind of why. But when you do that,
Yeah.
that's why you got 200 gigabyte
Yeah,
GTA 6s. Because
and
you
that's
bet your butt that GTA is gonna have ray tracing in it.
That'll look amazing. Holy moly, dude. I am excited. We're going back to GTA, but that GTA Online for number 6, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna have to give it a try. I know we completely deviated. Next topic is the
Yeah.
Halo TV series.
Yes, I've been showing everyone. My grandma, my nana came over yesterday, and I sat her down. Look at this. And she, what am I looking at? And then I'm like, this Master Chief, nana. I've been playing it since I was 5. This is amazing, dude. I'm excited for it.
I am very, very, very excited. I think the Master Chief, the Halo franchise, that is one of the reasons why I didn't even pick up the original the new Xbox consoles, because I was
Yeah,
so disappointed that it wasn't a game,
yeah.
a launch title. But I am looking forward to this show. I really, really hope it lives up to those expectations.
There's a problem with the show though that I was listening to, is they're gonna deviate a little bit from the books and a little bit from the games for their own creativeness.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying it's like a different timeline. I don't like that. I want them to all be canon because I've read the books and I love the games, but when I'm watching the show, some of the trailers kind of scary.
That's interesting. Why wouldn't they stick to what they know? Like, I would have just gone back to original Halo trilogy and made that into a show.
I would have just gone back to the 3 Halo books by Eric Nyland. I forgot his last name. Those books are amazing. Make that into
I have all your Halo books.
Dude, they're amazing. Read them.
I have them right here. All your books that you threw out.
I love them. Well, I think there was a point in my life where I didn't really read anymore. But now I have Audible. I'm not doing a freaking sponsorship, but I listen to a lot of the new Halo stuff, and to hear that the new TV series might deviate a little bit, because there's like a human living with a Covenant. It's a female. I forgot her name. Maka or something like that.
Yeah. So I think for like diehard fans, I definitely think it's going to be.
It's going to be
probably a letdown. It's not going to be with expectations, but I think for me, because I haven't played, the last Halo I officially played was Reach, and that is in such a far distant memory now.
Yeah.
That I couldn't tell you a single part of Reach, other than I think that was the one that introduced the jetpack.
I love Reach. I can tell you how every single one of those Spartans died.
Yeah. So since it's been that long, like I think I'm gonna be okay with it. I think it's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna see the Chief. I'm gonna see the weapons. I'm gonna see just the live action of it. I think it's gonna be good for me, just because again I haven't followed the line as intimately since Let's Finish the Fight in 2007.
You can enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna be critiquing it.
It's a gift and a curse, the fact that I've been away from the Halo franchise for so long. But I am very excited. I'm actually gonna sign up for Paramount Plus, and I'm curious to see how many gamers actually sign up for it, and then how many people cancel because they're gonna be so disappointed.
That's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be kind of like Peacemaker in a sense where HBO. I got it just for Peacemaker, dude. That thing is I love Peacemaker. Have you seen that show?
I saw the last Suicide Squad is where he was in, right?
The latest one with he was.
He was in the latest Suicide Squad, so I saw him there. But we were looking at it yesterday, and I thought it was a movie, but then it ends up being a show.
Yeah, and it's episodic.
Yeah, no, we'll see what comes out of it. I'm hoping, but I'm still very excited for the Halo TV series.
I think it's cool. I don't know if you saw the scene where it shows his back and his hands all cut up from the surgery that made him into a Spartan. And then they show clips of him as a kid. So I think they're going to have a lot of the Spartan lore were how they became Spartan 2s. And then one of the Spartans in this trailer, I forgot his name, but he's a Spartan 2. So he grew up with the Chief. But he's one of the Spartan 2s that failed. He's one of the ones that did the surgery and his body couldn't take it. So he never became a real Spartan. He became crippled. He's in this show. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This guy is the one that hates the Chief. Oh, man. In a sense. Because he never became a Spartan. And I'm like, how is that dynamic? Because I'm just excited for the whole thing. I hope they don't bother it, dude.
Why do you think it took him 20 years to do this, though?
Well, then they say they were going to make the movie, I don't know, 10 years ago? Halo 3-ish time frame?
Yeah. I remember way back, like around Halo 3 time frame, there was like a live action little clip that somebody made.
Oh yeah, I remember. I love that clip.
I had like the Warthog. I thought that was amazing. I was like, man, why didn't they keep doing that?
They had the ODSTs in that one. Never showed a Spartan, but it was Spartan. It was. I remember that clip. It was a Warthog, and then a Brute came out. So they showed the enemies, and it looked pretty nice for that time era. And then they shot the ODST in the chest. Remember that? It just looked amazing.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen these, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious why they waited 20 years and then like,
now we finally have one.
I know. I'm happy we're getting one, but at the same time, the stars don't kind of align to me. Like, it would have made more sense for it to come out when like Infinite came out, or an extension of Infinite.
Yeah, I think They're a couple months late in that sense, but everyone being a Halo fan right now, because Halo Infinite's free. It's free to play, so everyone is jumping on. It's one of the most played games right now. I think it's a good time frame for a Halo show to come out.
So I'm curious. The Witcher. Great.
Yes.
I haven't played it. I own them all, but I haven't played them.
Okay.
The show was phenomenal. Season 1 at least.
I only seen season 1. Yep, I haven't seen 2 yet.
So season 1 just jaw dropping. I don't know if it followed the story. I don't know if it kept with the true roots of the game.
Yeah.
But just as a third party observer, I absolutely love The Witcher to the point where I went and got the Witcher games. So I'm wondering if Halo will have that effect, right? Where people like me that've been out of the Halo game for a while, hopefully it's a well crafted show, independent of its ties back to the game.
Yeah.
I'm curious if people will criticize it as being a bad show because of it didn't keep to the roots. But from a cinematography perspective and from a storytelling perspective, it's a phenomenal movie or show. But it's just not going to live up to the fans' expectations, which is going to hurt the ratings. But taking that away, it would have otherwise been a great show.
Well, that's kind of what fails on video game movies or TV shows. They always mess something up, and the video game community feels it, and we're the ones that are watching it, right? But if my mom watches this Halo TV show and they do a well job, I think there'll be a bunch of new fans, you know?
Yeah, because like my wife, she hated, well, not hated, but she had no idea what the heck The Witcher was.
Yeah.
But she loved it.
What's the actor's name? Henry Cavill? He's a big time nerd. He's a
pro gamer.
He really loves. I think he said he wanted to make sure everything is video game story accurate. So he did a great job making sure his character and what they did was true to the game. Yeah. And I hope somebody in the Halo TV series will keep them grounded. Don't go too crazy. You know, even Cortana looks kind of funny to me, but it is a TV series, so we'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's a great Cortana. It is the same voice actress though as the first 3 Halos.
Or did 4 you know? I haven't researched this, but allegedly, voice of Cortana is voice of Peach.
Peach from Mario. Yep.
Do you know that?
I did not know that.
I read it back in an old Game Pro magazine. If you ever read, or EGM? No, I used to read EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly.
Yeah.
Back in high school. No greater feeling in the world than getting home from school and having a new magazine subscription waiting for you in your mailbox.
Yeah, you used to have Nintendo Power, didn't you?
No, I never had Nintendo Power. I had Game Pro and I had EGM, and now looking back, it's like I would look forward to the E3 covers, right? Because like they would talk about all the new cool stuff coming out from E3, but then like just think of like the world, the way the internet was in like 2002 through 2004, where you would wait a month to read about the news about an event that happened a month prior. Can you imagine today if we waited a whole month for like E3 news?
That would be pretty hard. I mean,
we get the spoilers before, like all the leaks before they even announce anything now.
The Spider-Man movies, that's a good example. I'm not going to spoil anything, but there were spoilers a week before the freaking movie came out. So, I don't know. I would rather have that problem with, I wonder if the movie's good, let me wait a month. Than have the spoilers come out a week before the movie even comes out.
Yeah, but just in general, like we've been talking about news a whole month later.
Yeah.
Because by the time they reported on it, wrote it up, published it, printed it, it's like you're talking like literally 3 weeks minimum to 4 weeks when you're finally like catching up. But it was so cool. It was back then. It was like and back then you couldn't find out anything that was happening in the game community if you weren't reading these magazines.
Yeah, I think
I still have mine. I kept some of my original stuff. keep some of this original stuff. I got SOCOM 2,
That's old.
October 2003.
Whatever happened to the SOCOM franchise? I've never...
Holy mo! This right here is my very first EGM magazine. Xbox
Wow.
versus GameCube.
And who won? What was the verdict?
December 2001.
Wow, GameCube. That's old.
This right here. Look at these graphics, man. The way they. Where did it go?
Let's see it.
Luigi's Mansion launch title, by the way, playing through it right now. Amazing still. All these years later.
Or for the
Luigi's
game?
Mansion on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, that's a good game.
These things that never came out that got promised.
What is that supposed to be?
They're adapters for like getting the GameCube on the internet.
Do you remember the adapter to put the Game Boy SP games into the GameCube?
I have that.
That's pretty sick. I love that.
Yeah.
What is that? Fight? Well, oh, that's
Yeah,
pretty
the
sick.
Xbox versus the GameCube.
What happened to PlayStation? It wasn't even a thing, huh?
It had already come out. The GameCube and the Xbox were the one that came out together.
Oh,
PlayStation Online, your guide to getting online for PlayStation
put an internet cord in it, buddy.
in 2002.
2002, I was 7. Holy moly.
Vice City, this was a thick one here. 2002.
Whoa. That's old looking art, but it's cool. It's a GTA art.
2007 best game of the year.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's from Mario to Metal Gear to Halo to GTA. Over 50 games that were ruled this year.
In the back, I see Lost Planet. Have you ever
Lost
played
Planet.
that
I
game?
still have your Lost Planet.
I love those games.
This one right here is the greatest 200 games of all time.
Wow. That's
And
pretty
then the
sick.
last one I pulled out here was January 2007, the PS3 versus the Wii.
It's cool because all this stuff, I feel like we'd see it online on YouTube. Like IGN would probably report on it or something. You know what I mean?
But I'm just glad I kept all this. Like, everybody was always asking, like, why? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
History?
these things have traveled with me all the way to Missouri and back.
Holy moly, they
And
survived.
I can't tell you the last time I opened one up, but I'm
Yeah.
hopeful that one day I will sit down and relive through, like, the last 50 years of video game history.
You're gonna be with your grandkids and you're like, yeah, this is a GameCube. It's like, Dad, I want to go into the freaking metaverse now. Can I leave?
I know, right? These kids are in the metaverse, but I don't know. There's just so much history, so much information in here. From they used to rate all the games. Did you ever
Yeah.
play this one? This was the most controversial game of like
What is that one called?
2007.
Dead or Alive?
Extreme.
Yeah, they always had the bikini like models for some reason.
Yeah, no, but this one there was like a nude mode in it.
That's pretty sick. I mean, no, horrible.
That Resistance Fallen Man on the PS3. Never played it. Super Mario Galaxy.
Played it. That's a Wii game, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption.
That
So
was a
many-
good Bedford.
So many games. Do you
There's
remember?
so
Do you
many
remember how many hours we spent playing Super Monkey Ball?
Well, I heard a new one came out recently, dude, on the Switch.
Isn't it just a rehash of the original?
It's a rehash of the first 3 all put together.
Yeah, but I have the first 3.
Isn't that what you're saying? That Nintendo just keeps redoing the same games?
Yep, over and over and over. Here we are 20 years later. The original Super Monkey Ball came out in what, 2003, 4, 5?
Yeah.
And here we are in 2022 just reliving a 2003 game.
But sometimes they mess up, dude, because like Banjo-Kazooie 1 and 2 were amazing, but then you play the nuts and bolts and it's like, what happened?
Different developers. But anyways, we only got 15 minutes here left and we got way too many articles, so maybe let's cut this one short a little bit. But
Yeah.
let's talk. I know we're a little late to the party, so I just wanted to get your thoughts on the Xbox acquisition or Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard.
I think it's amazing. I'm an Xbox fan because Xbox, Microsoft is also PC and they're like brothers. I think Xbox is working a lot with Nintendo too recently.
Do you think this is gonna screw things up for Sony?
Yeah, I think it's a two-sided thing. I think Microsoft is working. You play well with Microsoft, you're gonna get help, right? Nintendo can play Minecraft. It's really cool. It's like it's its own ecosystem. I remember reading somewhere maybe a couple years ago that Nintendo and Microsoft are playing nice, and Sony's always kind of been outside it. They don't want to work together. Remember, it was crossplay.
Has Sony made any good games recently.
People would argue God of War and
But what's the last God of War that came out?
was it PlayStation? Was it 4?
3?
I don't know.
3? Did
It's
4
a new
have
one.
any God of War?
It's supposed to be like the
Remasters don't count.
No.
What's the last God of War original IP that came out?
Gosh, it's the one where
gotta be
it's
PS3.
Norse mythology now. So they're making a second one, but the thing is with PlayStation, they have so many single player story driven games. But if they lost Call of Duty, I think they kind of lost their multiplayer section of it. You know what I mean?
They got God of War Ragnarok.
That's a new one coming out.
That's the new one coming out. They got God of War in 2018.
That's the remaster, or not the remaster, bringing up the whole trilogy again in a new sense.
They have God of War Ascension, which is a 2013 title, so that would have been PS3.
Isn't that a PS Vita, I think? Or what?
Is
I
it?
think it was a side game. I feel like it was.
Action adventure made for the PS3? No, it's PS3.
Here's a disclaimer. I never owned a PlayStation. I owned a PlayStation 3, and the only game I played on it was Little Big Planet.
I have your PlayStation 3. Okay, so this just wraps up my whole assumption that God of War, no original IP since 2013.
Well, they have Last of Us and stuff like that. But these are all, like I'm saying, they're all single-player, story-driven games. PlayStation's good at that. They're making single-player campaign games. But there is no fun for me. At least. There's no reason to buy PlayStation because I don't play single-player games like that. You know,
that's the only reason I would buy a game is to play single-player campaign.
So that's your generational thing. Because me, I need the online, and I don't know if Xbox owns Call of Duty now.
You ruined online for me, by the way.
Why is that?
Because I was very competitive, and I can beat the crap out of you. And then you went on the internet, and then everybody was better than me, and then that's when I stopped playing games.
Well, the same thing happened to me with Tony Baloney.
What happened to Tony Kaboom?
Tony Kaboom. I remember he wasn't very good at Halo 3. He gets an Xbox. He plays Halo Reach religiously, and all of a sudden he's beating the crap out of us on MLG settings, which is like, Major League Gaming, like you can only play with these certain settings. He'll put those settings on and kick our butts. Like, what the heck? Me and my cousin Adam were like, Tony, chill. you're younger.
I haven't played against Tony.
You can't. I can't even. In any game, he destroys us. I don't know what the heck is up with that.
I mean, he eats, breathes, and lives games. We got to get him on the podcast, see if we can catch him awake.
We need to sponsor him and put him on a freaking team or something because he's really good at any game he plays.
So do you think people at Sony over there are freaking out? I know they bought Bungie, which to me is like, okay, why?
I heard the Bungie acquisition started a year or more ago. They were in the talk, so I don't think it was a retaliation to what Xbox did.
But why buy Bungie though? Like Destiny 2, again, 10 years ago.
Destiny 2. Well, as soon as Bungie went away from Activision and they were able to make Destiny what they envisioned it, Destiny picked up. It's supposed to be a really good game now. I played when it first came out when Activision had a hold of Bungie. I didn't like it. But now I heard the game's different and better. But apparently Sony wants Bungie to make new IPs. Which is a good idea. I mean, they did create the first Halo. Or the first 4. 4 would be count ODST.
But can they do it again?
Well, actually, they made 5 Halos. Can they do it again? Yeah. I think so. All the same brains are there. Well, I don't know, because half of Bungie...
It's been a long time. Remember, the first Halo's been 20 years. And if you had a developer that was in his mid-20s to 30s, they're in their 50s, 60s now.
Jeez, Halo is so old. Yeah, you're right. And then, like I said, I think half of the team of the original Halo stayed to become 343 Studios. So I don't know.
Now, why do you think Microsoft's doing these kind of acquisitions? Like, when we grew up, these things didn't happen, right? It was first-party game exclusives that would come out that were like the launch title.
Yeah.
Nintendo always dominating in that first-party space.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft had Halo. PlayStation, I can never understand who the heck their mascot was. It was Crash Bandicoot.
It was Spyro for a while, wasn't it?
Dude, oh my gosh, you will not guess who I get to work with.
The voice of Spyro.
No, the designer that made all of the graphics for Spyro,
That's pretty cool.
the original PlayStation, and he made all the graphics for Ratchet and Clank for the whole series.
Ratchet and Clank was a mascot of theirs for a little while too. Yeah, geez, that's pretty sick. I don't know how are you gonna meet him? Are you guys
he just so I actually work as a consultant for a robotics company in LA.
He's making the real Ratchet and Clank, huh?
No, no, they're a robotics company, and they have a little robot. I don't know if you've seen it on my Instagram. It's called Moxie.
Moxie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yes, it's that toy. It has a weird face. It's kind of
very expensive toy, but yes. And I don't think they would call it a toy. It's a human, and it's basically like if you've seen the Big Hero 6, they're like trying to basically create Baymax. Yeah, either Baymax or if you've seen the new Ron's Gone Wrong movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's basically that little. It's a robot companion, right? For you, it just doesn't move yet. But the CEO of that company took a different approach at robotics.
What do they do?
He hired a bunch of game designers to build content for the robot. So there's like the robot, like you can play Simon Says with it. Yeah. You can play tic-tac-toe. Like on my iPad or on my screen, I can do I can move I can draw the circle.
Yeah.
And Moxie through the internet will draw the X, and we can play tic-tac-toe together.
This is the beginning of Skynet. You know that, right?
Yeah, but anyways, so they have a lot of game designers in house.
Yeah.
And so one of the game designers that they have, their main artist, I was talking to him because I was teaching him how to use Jira, which is what I do for a living, is just use this Jira tool. And he's like, I don't know how to use Jira. Back in my day when we were making Spyro, none of this existed. I was like, wait, Spyro? Which one? He's like, oh, I did all of the artwork for number 2 and number 3 on the original PlayStation.
That's pretty cool.
He's like, every single character I created on that game. I was like, what? So we spent like an hour just talking about everything he's done in his history.
That's pretty cool. I would love to meet someone like that.
And then I also, when you were in school, unrelated to games, but there was a highlights magazine that would come out when you were at Lincoln in elementary.
Okay.
There was like the little magazine that the teachers would have, and Scholastics would have like the book sale.
Oh, the book fair, yeah.
Yeah, put on by Scholastic, but then they would also have like this highlights magazine that every once in a while got shipped home. Well, I met the author of all those articles. She works there too because she writes all the storylines for the robot.
There's a storyline for the robot. So this thing is going through a journey.
There's there's days, right? There's 143 mission days that you can live through, and the robot's keeping track of your responses, and every day is like a new challenge.
Is this for kids?
It's for kids, and it's for like autistic kids. It's for hospitals. They're trying to do it for like therapy too, but they have to license it appropriately because as for official medical use, it's got to go through these extra hoops. But yeah, it's like
a companion for the kids that are lonely in a sense.
That, but it also for like just like Jeremy and Isaac, they have a blast just playing with it.
Huh? I need to see this. I would love to play with this thing for a second or two.
Yeah, no, I'll have to bring it with me next time I'm going to Anaheim.
Well, your birthday's next week, so.
Yeah, I know, right? No, but yeah, it's a pretty cool robot. I think it's still in the very early stages of it. It's still a little buggy, but it's got a lot of potential because like I can see the robot doing like next level games, right? Where it's like an AI that you're playing against that actually can talk to you. Like because for me, this would have been really valuable because I grew up with no siblings, so to have somebody to constantly play with is great. But then two, from a teacher perspective, right? You can put lesson plans and like have your own personal tutor.
So I'm envisioning a 5-year-old, and the little robot's like, "It's raining outside. Look, the rain." Or let's do the ABC.
It has a camera and it can spin 360, and it can hear everything, and so it's definitely got a lot of potential. And it can, since it's an LCD in the front, it can change. It can display anything. So like Moxie can show you like 2 different shapes and go, which one is the circle?
Wow.
right?
That's
Or it can drive a display on your tablet, and so that's kind of what they do right now, right? Like Moxie will show 4 images across the screen, and the screen, sorry, Moxie on its face will show you 4 images, and on the computer screen will show you like 20, and it's kind of like, which are the 4 that am I showing you, and put them in the right order. So it's like pattern recognition and stuff like that.
This is also really good for homeschooling kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's got so many potential. So I'm really interested. I'm helping them out with Jira and project management.
Well, this is cool. You got to keep us updated to this because I would love to see how it evolves.
All right, so we got 5 minutes left here. So I want to talk. Let's go over to the new Star Wars helmets. Did you pre-order one?
No, I don't like Legos, but they look pretty
Legos.
cool.
Holy moly.
Did you see at the bottom of that article? They had a Venom and Carnage helmet.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty sick. I think it's cooler than the Star Wars ones. I'm sorry.
You know what? I've seen Star Wars. I absolutely could care less about Star Wars.
Yeah.
Was it 7, episode 8. When episode 8 came out.
4, 5, 6. Is this the second one in the new trilogy with Girl?
It's a new trilogy that came out in the latest after 2017.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're right. Yeah. So not 7, not the first one that kicked off the new trilogy, but the second one.
Okay.
In that trilogy, I remember watching the first like 5, 10, 15 minutes. There's some dude, apparently some very important guy. If people are gonna hate us, they're really gonna hate us here. So there's some guy. He's in a tree. Ray's trying to like get into the tree for some reason. I knock out.
Yeah.
What? I knock out. I wake up 2 hours later to Lena saying, "Greatest movie ever."
Lena was saying that?
Lena loves Star Wars. I'm like, I can care less about Star Wars.
I can't do Star Wars. I was telling McKenna before she left to hang out with her sister, you have the Darth Vader helmet.
I have the Darth Vader one.
It's pretty cool, but it's just I don't care for Star Wars. I'm more of a Halo fan. That's pretty cool. I like how you can move that.
Well, I will tell you this much, right? So again, I don't care for Star Wars, but The Mandalorian
is good.
Created this world for me that I was like, holy moly, this is awesome.
Yeah. I like The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian does it for me. So that's the only reason I brought this up, is because now they're gonna have the Mando helmet.
I have the Mando stuff on Fortnite because for some reason, whenever something big happens in real life, Spider-Man movie, whatever, Fortnite adds some skins. And I remember when Mando came out with the baby, you can get that on Fortnite, and I have that.
I got the baby here too.
You have the baby.
I got the baby.
Well, where's my baby? Give me a second. Here she is. But it's a real one.
I think my baby's better. It's made
Hold on. How do I turn this bad boy on? Wake up. Hello. Give me a second.
Sounds like me waking up Moxie. Moxie, wake up.
Is that what you said to her?
Yeah.
He's not.
Somebody
there you go.
hack me.
Look at this. Isn't that cool? Hey, what's up, buddy?
Where'd you get that at?
You know, my sister was moving out, and I think she was going to throw him away. Isn't that cool?
That is.
I love this guy.
If it wasn't for that show, I still don't really. I'm not bought into the whole Star Wars thing, but in general, though, like, what do you like? Because I know you like those pop sockets. No, not pop sockets. Those pop thingies, the head bouncing ones.
Pops. Yeah,
pops. So I was just wondering. I wanted to get. The only reason I brought this up is one, because again, I'd love to get the Mandalorian one, but two, what do you? Because I love Legos, and I would actually collect this. But how do you see this compared to the pops, and like, do you see them being able to like make a crap ton of these?
I don't know how Lego does with their collectibles. I know pops are cool because they make a certain amount, and in that sense, they make them for a limited time. So you can really hone in what's rare and what's common, and pops.
But they can do this, right? The Lego Carnage is out of stock.
See, if that's the case, then get the Mandalorian helmet, because I don't know how Lego does the collectibles. I don't know if they vault anything, so they don't come out for a while. and when they do come out, it's a second edition. So that means the first edition Lego is that worth more. That's how pops work. That's why I love pops, because it's as you can find different variants. They're called chases. Out of a box of 12, maybe one of them has like a special thing about it. So that's why I think pops are successful in their collectability. I don't know about Legos.
I don't think they're there yet, right? But I think this is the beginning stages because these Star Wars ones, they only just came out around Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? The Darth Vader helmet and all that?
Yeah, they just started coming out, and even though this article here for the Mandalorian came out, or this thing was posted like I don't know a week ago, I would have assumed like Carnage that's out of stock. I would have assumed like all of them would have been out of stock.
Yeah. So
but I can see this whole thing like up here. Up here, I have a bunch of Avengers stuff. I can see that whole thing getting filled up with all these Master Chief helmet,
the Master Chief helmet, any
helmet, right?
Yeah.
And then we start kind of incrementally getting more and more and more.
I don't know much about Star Wars, but you know the Clone Wars. Have you seen that TV show?
I've never been a cartoon guy.
That's really good. You should watch that. But each of the clones, there's different ones with different helmets. That would be pretty cool if Lego had all of those special guys, like Rex and other characters like that.
You know what? As soon as we hang up this call, the Mandalorian is still not out of stock and it ships on March 1st. I'm buying it.
Grab it, dude. Heck yeah. I would grab it. See, if you have the Darth Vader one, you might as well just keep going. You have to get the Luke Skywalker goggles on as well.
It becomes a very expensive hobby. My son is on the 5-year-old is on the whole Mario thing I was talking to you about earlier.
Yeah.
And there's like 50 kits at an average price of like $60.
Holy moly, what is that, 3,000?
Yeah, but I'm gonna be buying. I've already got like 8 of them.
You
can't stop now.
No, you gotta get them all.
You gotta get them all.
Come on, dude. You gotta do it. Yeah. This is a good memory for him. He probably doesn't even know what's going on. He's just building them, but holy moly.
All right. Well, hope you had fun. We're going to be signing off. Thank you to everybody. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like. Make sure you give a thumbs up, heart, wherever we're posting this. Make sure you share some love and help us. Again, we're just two guys here, just reliving and hashing out our memories.